I would like to share some fun things about Brad. Did you know that he is a fly fisherman, a hunter, a camper, a farmer, and an avid outdoorsman? He's a spiritual man, a family man, and a grandpa. He is well-rounded in everything he pursues. These are just a few things that Brad loves to do away from his union job as president of AFT Utah. Saying that, there is a secret I'd like to tell you. Brad has a nickname that he has been labeled with. He's known among his labor family and legislators up on the Capitol as Badger. We call him Badger because he is tenacious. Once he has a project or a goal in mind, he's on it, and he won't stop until he's accomplished what he set out to do. This is a good trait to have, especially as a labor leader in the state of Utah. Brad is my friend. Brad is my guide. He is my wingman when I need to know anything about education. He's well-versed. He knows the legislation, and he gives me good insight. He shares the same passion with all legislators and his education community. He's someone we love and someone we need in the state of Utah, someone we value in our union family. I know if Ed was here, he would say, "Job well done, brother." Thank you for lighting the torch, leading the way for educators, working families, and for all the residents of the state of Utah. Again, thank you and congratulations.
Brothers and sisters and friends of labor, it is my privilege and an honor to introduce to you the recipient of the Mayne Champion Award tonight. I first became acquainted with this great union leader about 5 years ago when I was still the vice president of the Utah AFL-CIO. We spent many hours talking about our union members and how we can reinvigorate the union movement in Utah. We also shared many fond memories of things we loved to do away from our union jobs, and it was quickly apparent that we had a lot to talk about. We became friends immediately as we had so much in common. I was so impressed with his dedication to his members and his desire to make sure every single person that he represented was treated with dignity and fairness. I knew right away that this man was a true unionist through and through. Shortly thereafter, I became president of the Utah AFL-CIO, and I had the opportunity to travel the state with him as he was attending to his membership's needs from border to border. I could feel his frustration while he fought some very tough battles fighting to protect the collective bargaining rights of his members that were being waged against him and the members that he so deeply cared about. He was given and continues to give his heart and soul to defending and promoting not only his union members, but he also took on the task of lobbying for our public sector employees union too. I am proud to call this man a friend and a brother as I present to you tonight a genuine and dedicated union man that is so deserving to carry the mantle and memory of another great union man, the late and great Eddie Mayne. Brothers and sisters, it is my pleasure to present to you the recipient of the Mayne Champion Award, President of the American Federation of Teachers, Brother Brad Acey.
I'm truly humbled and honored to be nominated and receive this recognition. To receive an award that is named in honor of Eddie Mayne and to be associated with his dear wife and my AFT Union sister, Senator Karen Mayne, will be a high point in my life and in our family. On the wall of my office, there is a photograph of my great-grandfather, Carl Johan Jakobsen, and his brothers Swan and Otto. They are in their early 20s and had just arrived in the United States from Sweden. They were workers in the mines of Ophir, Utah, and later my great-grandfather would move to the mine in Kenilworth in Carbon County. More importantly, they were union men, leaders, and organizers. Next to that photograph is a letter dated June 1st, 1946, written from John L. Lewis, President of the United Mine Workers, sending his condolences for the death of my great-grandfather. Carl and his brothers' names are engraved on a monument in Price erected to memorialize the sacrifice of hundreds of miners who gave their lives working to provide and build a future for their families. These union leaders fought for safe working conditions, workers' rights, and fair pay. In the end, they even gave their lives for the labor movement. When I get to the point of exhaustion and sometimes despair, wondering if I shouldn't just hang it up in the face of opposition to our union work, I see my great-grandfather and his brothers looking at me with those slight smiles and the eager confidence on their faces. I hear them say, "Hey, you can do this. It's in your blood. Now get back to work." We are surrounded by heroes, essential workers that show up at the job site in the face of danger from a global pandemic. It's their efforts and commitment that safeguard our society. These workers ensure that we have lights, water, safety, education, roads, transportation, healthcare, living wages, and opportunities for our families, just to name a handful of their vast contributions. That's why we're unionists. We safeguard and protect workers and their families because we understand and know their importance and what essential truly means. In the coming weeks, a large group of heroes are going back to work in the face of danger and insecurity. Workers in our public schools and institutions of higher education will be walking into the unknown. Looking at the photo on my office wall this morning, I reflected about the thoughts of my great-grandfather as he looked at the entrance of that mine each morning before plunging into the darkness. Did he wonder if he would be safe that day? Did he hope that he would return home to his family that evening? Did he hesitate for a moment and think about turning around and just walking away? Many of these same thoughts are going through the minds and conversations among faculty and staff. I'm fairly certain that my great-grandfather did what these heroes will do on their first days back to work: grit their teeth and plunge into the darkness. And the unions will be there with them. They don't go in alone. We'll fight for them, strike with them, and unite them. I share this recognition and award with all my heroes, the workers, my union brothers and sisters, my dear wife and family, and a special dedication to Carl Johan Jakobsen and all those in past generations that laid the foundations of our great labor movement. Thank you so much for this award.